איך נדע שהמשיח הגיע?
כן, זה כתוב שאליהו יבוא 3 ימים קודם.
ונשמע את זה בכל העולם.
כן.
זה סימן.
כן, כן, כמו שהיה במצרים. היה, זה כולם מאמינים. שהיה קריאת ים סוף. הים נפקע, וכל העולם, מי שהיה לו מים בכוס, זה גם נקבע.
באמת? זה מה שכתוב?
כן, והיהודים עברו בתוך הים ביבשה. מתפללים את זה כל טוב. משה רבנו, כל היהודים שרו את השיר הזה. אז ישיר משה בני ישראל, כל יהודי מתפלל את זה כל יום.
ונדע כי זה יהיה בכל העולם, זה העניין, נכון?
Good day everyone. 63 days to Feast of Trumpets, the feast where we can know that Jesus will come for us in the rapture. Also the judgment will take place. The beginning of God's wrath will be poured out afterwards. But first of all, let me tell you, there will be an earthquake. There will be an earthquake, a global earthquake. We will see it, and millions will die in that earthquake. And the sun will turn into darkness. The same thing that happened at the crucifixion when Jesus died on the cross. The sun will turn into darkness. You see, Jesus is light, and nobody will be able to see him in broad daylight. So it have to be dark to see Jesus, that brilliant light. Every eye will see Jesus in the sky. That's correct. And one person said to me, if that is the case, then many people will be saved. Many people will get saved afterwards. 10 days on Feast of Atonement will be the great outpouring, global outpouring across the world. And the 144,000 will be in action like never before. They don't need an aeroplane to fly. Yes, they have their perfect bodies to do so. Yeah, Rabbi says we will know our Messiah 3 years before he comes. Now the gematria, the numerology of his name is Moshiach, Messiah. That's what it is. This video account stands from a person that I had a discussion with on Facebook, a very popular person, an ex-police officer, and he just deleted me, just plain and blank, threw me off his page when I said I respectfully disagree with a statement that he made. And he said, and not just him, I'm telling you, almost every watchman, every person says that, no, we will not be here. We cannot know who is the Antichrist. Listen, there's two. The Jews believe in two messiahs. The Jews believe in two messiahs, and they both false messiahs. You'll see that in a moment. I'm going to put on to Tom Horn, and they had a discussion. He says identical things that I say as well. And the only thing he doesn't believe this man is the man of sin. That's the only difference. Probably for popular reasons as well. Perhaps I don't know what his thoughts is, but he says he don't believe it. But nevertheless, let's wait and see what the rabbi says. Not your opinion who the Antichrist is. They the one who make the decisions. And you will hear that now in a minute ago. You already seen that first rabbi. He says it will happen 3 years before the time. Breaking news, Jewish Messiah being revealed today on Purim. Yes, on Purim. This was 2000. This happened on 2019. In 2019 Purim, and there you can exactly see it is 3 years ago. And he said it will happen 3 years ago, 3 years before the time we will already know who our Messiah is. And secondly, I'm going to put another clip on for you, that there's tests that he needs to be filled. And then afterwards, I will put on Tom Horn and let he tell you what those tests is. If you don't want to believe it from Vincent Winan, believe what Tom Horn says. He knows most of those rabbis very, very well. They are in contact with that rabbis as well. I've never been in contact except study what they do believe. And here it says, revered, rabbi says Messiah, and let's put the Antichrist. Now, the Jewish Messiah is not the Antichrist, people. He is the false prophet, the biblical false prophet. He is from the tribe of Dan, and he will judge Israel. He is here now and will appear on Purim 2019. That was the report. That's what it says. And another, quite a few says it well. Now I saw this, and at that time I did not pay attention until I was busy with a study on the Golden Heights, and that struck me to the core, and that is why I shared it. And this rabbi also say it will spread throughout the world, and you can see this 78,000 views from that day, almost that's 3 years ago. 17. Now normally I don't get that much views because YouTube and Facebook blocks my post. They partially censor it, so there is it doesn't really go out. Some people don't receive the notifications, so they already know it. Is it true what the Bible says? Yes, it is true. But people do not read the Bible properly. It says here in 2 Timothy 2 verse 3, let not anyone deceive you in any manner, because it will not be unless the apostasy, the fall away from the biblical truth, have first come. Yeah. And the man of sin has been revealed, the son of perdition. Can you agree with me? The fall away, the apostasy is here over a long period already. 2014-15, all the states of America has been declared as legit to the LGBT. To the gays and the lesbians. What does that tell you? And let me tell you, the church across the world did not stand up against it, did not move a finger. Seriously, people. Today there is so many gospels. I don't even want to name it, and you're going to be offended with me. But that is the biblical truth, people. It is the biblical. Stay focused upon Jesus and nothing else. That should be your focus. Not on Paul's gospel, not on this gospel and that gospel. There's only one gospel, and that is the gospel of Jesus Christ. Thank you, people. Jesus loves you. So there you can see it for yourself. He is already there. They are already known. They are already on the scene. They're working together. The pandemic is being planned by them. Everything is already by the murders that you see, the gun shooting, everything is planned by them. In fact, they all already started here in South Africa as well. Why? So that this man can come to power and he will bring about a change. That is the whole thing behind it, people. That is what it is. The war, Ukraine war, it's all been planned by them to sink the economy so that everyone on earth can be dependent upon them. That is their objective. And once you receive those grants and everything else, and you took the mark, then they kick you in the bucket. I'm serious. Serious, serious people. Do not take the mark of the beast. Stay away from that. Yes, and that's what the word says. That I read further in 2 Thessalonians 2 verse 7. For the mystery of the lawlessness is already at work. It's already works. It already works. Only there is he who restrains. It's not Michael that restrains people. It's Holy Spirit that restrains now until he is gone. Who is gone? Until the rapture takes place. Then this false prophet, then Satan will come down. Yes, Satan will come down on Feast of Trumpets, and Satan will give this man on the Golden Heights, by the way, where Jesus proclaimed himself as the Messiah. Remember that? Put that video for you in for your information as well, so you can study that. And then the lawless one shall be revealed. He is already revealed at Revelation 2 verse 3. But here he is revealed worldwide, but he's already revealed to the Jews. They already know who he is. They have meetings with them, secret meetings with them. They also put tests to them. And I'll put a second video clip up about this rabbi that says he needs, there is certain tests that their Messiah must pass, which is the biblical false prophet. Yes, that's what Revelation 19 verse 20 says. The Antichrist is actually called the beast in the book of Revelation. We call it the Antichrist. But the false prophet will not be like the Antichrist. He will be very biblical. He will speak like a lamb. Remember what the word says? You speak like a lamb. But he's actually very much a dragon within inside of him. Yeah, that's what it is. And whose coming is according to the working of Satan in all power and signs and wonders and falsehood. This is the false prophet. The false prophet will rule first, not the Antichrist. The Antichrist only has been given power. Revelation 13, 4 and 5. Read it. He only gets power in the second half of God's wrath, or the tribulation, as you name it. Now, I'll put that rabbi on now, hear what he says, and then I will also let Tom Horn speaks, and then I will share a little bit further. Okay?
How will we know when the Messiah comes?
How will we know?
Yeah.
It says in the Rambam, Shivud Malchiot Buvad. And that means that when the kingship returns to Israel, and that there's apparently it means when militarily and politically Israel is secure. Then we'll know that the Moshiach is coming.
So if we install a kingship now, that means the Messiah should come, or?
No.
Okay.
No, we don't install it. It's not up to us to bring it about. But rather, we'll know by the success of the Messiah. If the Messiah is successful in bringing about world peace, and where Israel is recognized by the nations, then we'll know that he is the Messiah. He has to prove himself.
So only after, even if somebody claims, only by his success rates.
Right. Clinical success is the final test. That's what we say in medicine.
The great temple being built in Israel. Do you believe that at all? I didn't ask you ahead of time, so maybe.
Well, yeah, I mean, certainly, and there's a push for that. And did you notice that one of the very first things when Trump was elected, the rabbis in Israel calling on him and Putin to use their international clout to do what? To rebuild the temple. I think impetus is on our side right now. I think we're moving towards a moment. And the rabbis over there, some of what the mystical rabbis are saying is very, very curious right now.
What can we find out right now?
Will we just go?
Yeah, I want to know. I know my audience.
So look, there's so many of these articles. We've been running them at Skywatch TV almost every week right now. And so I only brought a couple of them with me. This one, Trump upset victory divinely sent to begin Messianic process, say Israeli rabbis, right? And this one, ancient secret of Daniel's 70 weeks predicts end of days will come this year in 5777, which started in October last month in the Jewish calendar year and will be done by September of the coming year. So, and by the way, that was Rabbi Meir Horowitz 300 years ago, working on Daniel's time and half a time, and he set a date. He set a date 300 years ago. He said, this will all happen, the Messiah will arrive, the end times will begin in the Jewish calendar year 5777. The rabbis have held that dear to them since then. What is that? That's 2016 to 2017. Messiah will arrive. Now, they're looking at Donald Trump. One of the rabbis illustrated how his name in the gematria, the numerology of his name, actually means Messiah. Now, there's some weird stuff here that's going on. So think about this for a moment. In the Jewish Zohar, 700 years ago in medieval Aramaic, Orthodox Jews speculated about when will the Messiah be on the earth, right? And in the Vieira section of the Zohar, they said he will arrive on earth in the year 57, he will make himself known in the year 5773, which was 2012 to 2013. Oddly enough, Trump goes to Israel in 2012, decides not to run for U.S. president, meets with heads of states, comes out of that, you can watch the YouTube on television, and he starts talking to the Jewish people, telling them to vote for Benjamin Netanyahu and the Likud party, which they did, right? Wow. But what the Zohar said was, he will be identified. From that day and forward, there have been at least a dozen Jewish rabbis that have said, the Messiah is on earth now. He's been identified. He is soon going to make himself known. Well, some key things have to happen for the Messianic figure in the Jewish mindset. For the Messiah to arrive, you can't think of him like we think of Messiah. We think of Messiah after the model of Jesus. He's the Son of God, divine birth, all of that. That's not the way the Jews look at the Messiah. They're looking for a king. They're looking for a political leader. As a matter of fact, Messiah to them means the anointed one, and it goes back to the ancient days when they would anoint a king and recognize him as this is the man that God sent. And what they're looking for is several things. First of all, they're looking for somebody in a political figure who can lead decisive battles in defense of Israel. This is why the only politician on the face of the earth that was standing up and saying, if I'm elected president, I'm going to be the biggest friend that Israel's ever had. We're going to undo the Iran deal, well, blah, 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 right? And being a friend of Benjamin Netanyahu. Secondly, they're looking for, when the Messiah comes, there will be an ingathering of Jews from around the world back into the Holy Land. That's why the rabbis, on the eve of his election, went on television and said, we need to call now Jews from around the world, come back to Jerusalem because the Messiah is here, right?
Yes.
There's another thing. Thirdly, they talk about when he arrives, he is going to reinstitute the temple service. So what was the second thing they did? They called on Trump and Putin to use their power to rebuild the temple and to reinstitute the temple service. I mean, there could be a few rabbis there that think he's the Messiah. The other third key is he has to be of the Davidic dynasty. He has to be of the Davidic bloodline, and there is an effort right now to go back through the European monarchy, cousins of President Donald Trump, to show that his bloodline goes back to the Davidic dynasty. Now, why are these efforts underway? I'm just saying there's something very strange here that's going on, and everything I'm saying can be verified. Multiple news agencies, the Jerusalem Post, Breaking Israel News, they're all talking about this right now. So they too believe that we are in the end times. They too believe that the Messiah is about to appear. We would say the second coming is about to happen, but their Messiah is going to be a false Messiah. He's going to be the Antichrist, right?
Did Donald Trump pass the clinical test? I would say yes. Yeah, if Israel Today's news here is that Donald Trump converted to Judaism 2 years ago, according to a White House official, and that was on a date of February the 23rd, 2019. That was just prior to this, so this actually happened in 2017. This must have been in a secret. There's a lot of things going on behind the doors, people. Yes, so he converted to Judaism. So this might become as a surprise. And here you can see then Donald Trump going into to the wall. And that's what happened there. So here he did not have his little kepi on, and he got it on afterwards. And just go through the pages there. Yeah. And there he got his little cape on. And furthermore, then he went to the wall to come pray there. And then secondly, his wife then followed up as well. Yes, yeah, to pray at the Western Wall. And right on that day, that was 2 years, it must have been 2007, I don't know when that was. And then, yeah, it was 2000, just Jerusalem, Israel, 2027. He was converted to Judaism. So you can see it for yourself. This clinical test he passed. He also passed a clinical test as a suffering servant. Jesus fulfilled that role at his first coming. Yeah? At his second coming, Jesus fulfilled his second role as Ben David. Jesus fulfilled his role as Ben Joseph. But now Jesus said, you remember what Jesus said? The Father sent me, and the Jews rejected Jesus. And Jesus said furthermore that the Jews, will receive another in his own name. And so far they did receive Donald Trump in their own name. His name appears on a temple coin. He's going to build a temple for the Antichrist. And he also declared the Golan Heights as legend, as part of the land of Israel. He did all these, and he also moved the embassy then to Jerusalem, because they know why he did it. Did it for a purpose, because they know they will rule. The Antichrist will sit in the temple in the last 3.5 years, and that is why they already moved the embassies to Jerusalem. It's not because he's in favor of Israel. This has been all planned. The 2012 time, 2013, when he told the rabbis, vote for Netanyahu. Netanyahu is great friends, people. Great friends. And Netanyahu is coming back. And you will see Donald Trump be back as well. There is a possibility he may come back. Maybe in August, September, to complete. I'm not saying that. It's possibility that he may come back to complete the Abrahamic Accord. He must fulfill it. It's not the Antichrist that set the peace agreement. Yeah, they're just going to renew the covenant. That's all what they can do. Jesus, Daniel, the angel Gabriel said to Daniel, 70 weeks are determined upon thy people. 69 of those weeks are already fulfilled. 1 week remain in our days. So that is what I have to say. We bless people. Share this video, and the Antichrist and the false prophet are already revealed. We know that it's Obama, the Antichrist. The biblical false prophet is not the Pope. Here you see him in full. He is the Jewish Messiah from the tribe of Dan. Blessings, people.